Imagine for a moment that you could look at everything around you, not just with your eyes, but with the power of your words. What if the very language you speak could mold the world you live in? The truth is, it can. Language is not just a tool to communicate, it's a tool to create. Every word we speak is a brushstroke on the canvas of our lives. What does your canvas look like right now? Is it full of possibilities, vibrant and full of energy? Or is it a dull, gray reflection of limiting beliefs and self-doubt? Let me tell you something, the language you use is a direct reflection of your internal world. What you tell yourself, you begin to believe. And what you believe, you begin to see. Your language is shaping the way you view yourself, the way you interact with others, and how you experience the world. Depending on the language you use when you talk to yourself, do you use words that empower you, words that remind you of your strength, your potential, and your limitless possibilities? Or do you use words that limit you, words that make you feel small, unworthy, or incapable? The internal dialogue you carry is shaping your experience. If you say, I can't do this, you're a story that keeps you stuck in a fear and inaction. But if you change that language to, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm becoming better every day, suddenly your world shifts, your perspective shifts, and your actions follow suit. Now think about the words you use when talking to others. Do you build them up, make them feel seen and heard, or do you tear them down with criticism, judgment, or negativity? The way you speak to others has the power to influence how they see themselves, how they feel in your presence. Your words can either be a light that lifts people up or a shadow that holds them back. Language is far more than a simple means of communication. It is a powerful tool of creation. Every time we speak, we are not just transmitting information, we are shaping our reality. The words we choose to use create the framework within which we experience life. Imagine your thoughts as raw materials and your language as the tools you use to carve those thoughts into tangible realities. Think about it, everything in the world, from the buildings we live in to the relationships we have, was once just a thought in someone's mind. But it wasn't until those thoughts were articulated, expressed, and acted upon through language that they started to take form. The same is true for your inner world. If you want to shift your reality, you must start with your language. The words you use are like seeds. They can either nourish or stifle growth. When you speak with conviction, clarity, and purpose, you lay the groundwork for success and possibility. But language doesn't just shape what's around you. It also shapes what's within you. The inner dialogue you carry, the words you tell yourself when you're alone, are often the most influential. If you tell yourself you're not good enough or that you'll never succeed, those words will dictate your actions and reinforce a belief in your limitations. On the other hand, if you begin to speak to yourself with words of encouragement, possibility, and strength, those same words will begin to shift your self-perception. They'll fuel you to take action, to break through barriers, and to step in a new level of potential. Language is the tool through which we make sense of the world, but it is also the instrument through which we transform it. By changing the way we speak, whether to ourselves or to others, we can influence our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. When we use language that empowers, uplifts, and inspires, we not only elevate our own lives, but we also become catalysts for change in the lives of those around us. Self-talk is one of the most powerful forces in shaping our lives. It is the constant internal conversation that happens within us, often without us even being fully aware of it. These thoughts, whether encouraging or critical, are the lens through which we interpret our experiences, and they influence how we see ourselves, the world, and the possibilities before us. The words we speak to ourselves shape our sense of identity, dictate our behaviors, and even determine the outcomes we achieve. Think about it. If you wake up every morning telling yourself that you're not good enough, or that today will be another failure, setting the stage for exactly that reality. On the flip side, if you start your day by affirming your strength, your capability, and your readiness to face challenges, you're preparing your mind for success. The power of self-talk lies in its ability to either limit you or propel you forward, depending on how you choose to speak to yourself. The language you use in your internal dialogue directly impacts your confidence and self-esteem. If you tell yourself, I can't do this, or this is too hard, you're essentially affirming that you are incapable of overcoming obstacles. But if you replace those thoughts with statements like, I am capable, or I am learning and growing, you create a mindset that is open to growth, progress, and possibility. Over time, the more you reinforce positive, empowering thoughts, the more they become your reality. Self-talk also plays a crucial role in our emotional state. Have you ever noticed how your thoughts can dictate your feelings? If you repeatedly tell yourself that you're stressed or anxious, you're allowing those emotions to dominate. But when you shift your internal dialogue to something like, I'm in control of how I respond to challenges, you gain power over your emotions. By reframing the narrative, you can transform anxiety into calm, frustration into motivation, and out into confidence. What's even more remarkable is that self-talk has a profound impact on your physical state. Your body responds to the thoughts you have. If you're constantly telling yourself that you're exhausted or that you don't have the energy to keep going, your body will follow suit. But when you shift your internal conversation to something like, I feel energized and ready to take on the day, you send signals to your body that align with that belief. You'll find yourself moving with more purpose, energy, and determination. The beauty of self-talk is that it's within your control. You have the ability to change your inner dialogue at any moment. If you don't like the story you're telling yourself, you can rewrite it. You can choose to speak to yourself in a way that builds you up, that empowers you to act, and that reaffirms your worth and potential. By intentionally shifting your self-talk to one that is positive, affirming, and future-focused, you can transform not only your mindset, but the trajectory of your life. In the end, the most important conversation you'll ever have is the one with yourself. And the language you choose in that conversation determines the life you will create. If you want to change your life, start by changing the way you speak to yourself. Words have a profound impact on how we perceive the world around us. They are the lenses through which we interpret our experiences, and how we describe those experiences can shape our understanding of them. Our perception of reality is not always an objective reflection of what's happening, but rather a subjective experience based on the language we use to frame it. The words we choose can either empower us or limit us, opening doors to new possibilities or closing them before we've even tried. Think about how different the world can look depending on the language you use to describe it. If you see a challenge and describe it as a problem or an obstacle, it can immediately feel overwhelming, something to avoid or fear. But if you reframe it as an opportunity for growth or a lesson waiting to be learned, your perception shifts. What once seemed daunting becomes an exciting chance to develop and improve. The act of choosing words with a different energy changes the way you mentally engage with the situation, making it more manageable and less intimidating. This shift in language also affects how we view ourselves and our potential. If you continually describe yourself as not good enough or incapable, you create a self-perception that holds you back from pursuing your dreams. You begin to see yourself as less than what you truly are, and your actions reflect that. On the other hand, if you speak to yourself with words like I am capable, I am deserving, or I have everything I need to succeed, your perception of who you are and what you can achieve becomes expansive. You start to see opportunities instead of barriers, and you take actions that align with your highest potential. Our language also influences how we interpret the behavior of others. Have you ever noticed how the same situation can be perceived in totally different ways depending on the words we use to describe it? A disagreement with a colleague might be seen as a conflict or a battle, or simply a difference of opinion. The language we choose to explain the dynamics of our relationships affects how we feel about them. When we label others in negative ways, calling someone difficult or lazy, we limit our ability to connect with them in a meaningful way. But when we describe others with more neutral or positive language, like challenging but with potential, or someone who sees things differently, our perception of the person and the relationship shifts. Even more powerful is how words influence our sense of the future. If you constantly talk about your future in terms of fear or uncertainty, like I'm not sure what will happen or I'm scared of failing, you're projecting that fear into the future, influencing your actions in ways that prevent you from moving forward. But when you speak about the future with confidence and possibility, using words like I am excited about what's ahead or I will overcome whatever comes my way, you set yourself up to approach your goals with a sense of clarity and optimism. Your words act as the foundation for your actions, and they begin to shape your future by altering the way you approach opportunities. Words, in their essence, have the power to open or close doors, to limit or expand our horizons, and to help us see the world not as it is, but as we choose to make it. Language holds the key to personal empowerment. The words we choose to speak, both to ourselves and others, are far more than mere expressions of thought. They are declarations of our power. The language we use shapes how we see ourselves, how we interact with the world, and ultimately how we create our lives. When we consciously choose words that affirm our strength, potential, and ability to overcome challenges, we unlock a force within ourselves that drives us towards success and fulfillment. Empowerment through language starts with the internal conversation we have every day. Every time we speak to ourselves, we are either lifting ourselves up or holding ourselves back. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not capable or that success is out of reach, you're reinforcing a belief that limits your potential. But when you change the way you speak to yourself, you can change the way you see yourself. By using words like I am strong, I am capable, or I can find a way, you're affirming your power to take action and overcome obstacles. These words don't just help you feel better, they help you move forward. Because they spark the belief that you can, in fact, achieve what you desire. When you adopt empowering language, you shift your mindset from one of limitation to one of possibility. The way you speak about challenges, for example, directly affects how you approach them. If you view a difficulty as an insurmountable obstacle, the words you use will confirm your sense of powerlessness. But if you describe that same challenge as a problem to be solved or an opportunity to grow, you change your relationship to it. You empower yourself to act, to find solutions, and to embrace the growth that comes from overcoming it. This empowerment extends beyond the way we speak to ourselves. It also affects how we communicate with others. The language we use with others has the power to either uplift or diminish their sense of self-worth. When we speak with respect, encouragement, and affirmation, we help others feel seen, valued, and capable. We create an environment in which others can thrive, just as we do for ourselves when we use empowering language. Words of encouragement don't just boost morale, they inspire action and help others rise to their fullest potential. Empowerment through language also comes from the ability to reframe our experiences. Every situation, whether perceived as good or bad, can be reinterpreted through the language we use to describe it. A setback doesn't have to be seen as a failure. It can be viewed as a lesson or a stepping stone on the path to success. Language allows us to rewrite the narrative of our lives, turning moments of doubt and difficulty into opportunities for growth and strength. By choosing words that highlight possibility, resilience, and strength, we shape our past and present in ways that propel us forward into a future of empowerment. Moreover, empowerment is not just about the words we use, it's about the energy behind them. The language we speak carries a vibration, and that vibration impacts everything it touches. When you speak with confidence and conviction, your words resonate with power. People can feel the energy behind what you say, and it creates an impression that you are someone who believes in their own potential. This energy doesn't just influence others, it influences you. When you speak positively, when you use empowering language, you shift your internal energy and create a momentum that drives you toward your goals. Ultimately, empowerment through language is about taking control of your own narrative. It's about recognizing that the words you speak have the power to shape your reality. When you choose empowering language, you begin to see yourself as the creator of your life, not just a passenger along for the ride. By speaking with intention, you align your actions with your purpose and you invite a future that reflects the strength, potential, and limitless possibilities that you have within you. Language is one of the most powerful tools in shaping the quality and depth of our relationships. The way we communicate, both verbally and non-verbally, directly influences how we connect with others, how we are perceived, and how we understand and navigate the dynamics between us. Whether in personal or professional settings, the words we choose, the tone we use, and even the way we listen all play critical roles in the strength and health of our relationships. At the core of every relationship is communication, and language is the medium through which we convey our thoughts, feelings, and intentions. How we speak to others reveals much about how we view them and how much we value the connection. Words can either build bridges or create walls. When we speak with kindness, empathy, and respect, we create an atmosphere of trust and openness. This invites deeper connection and understanding as the other person feels safe and valued in the exchange. On the other hand, if our language is harsh, dismissive, or disrespectful, it can alienate others, causing emotional distance and distrust. The way we speak also reflects how we perceive the other person. If we label someone as difficult or problematic, those words can create a barrier between us and them. The language we use to describe someone, whether it's positive, neutral, or negative, shapes our attitudes toward them and ultimately influences how we engage with them. For instance, instead of seeing someone as stubborn, we could describe them as strong-willed or passionate. This simple shift in language changes how we approach the person in the situation, fostering a more understanding and empathetic interaction. Moreover, the words we use with others can either uplift or diminish their sense of self-worth. A compliment, a word of encouragement, or an expression of gratitude can make a profound difference in how someone feels about themselves in the relationship. When we affirm others, using words that recognize their value, abilities, and efforts, we build their confidence and strengthen the bond between us. Conversely, criticism, harsh judgment, or neglectful language can erode trust and self-esteem, causing emotional harm and distancing us from the other person. It's not just what we say, but how we say it that can either heal or hurt. The way we listen also plays a significant role in shaping relationships. Listening is an active process that involves more than just hearing words. It's about giving the other person the space to express themselves and acknowledging their perspective. When we listen with intent, using words that validate and reflect back what has been said, we demonstrate respect and empathy. This creates an environment where open, honest communication can thrive. On the contrary, when we dismiss, interrupt, or invalidate what the other person is saying, it creates a disconnect, leaving them feeling unheard and misunderstood. In addition to the words we speak, the tone, body language, and timing of our communication all contribute to the impact our language has on relationships. A message spoken in a harsh or impatient tone can completely change the meaning of the words themselves. Likewise, the way we use our body, whether through eye contact, posture, or gestures, can either reinforce or contradict what we're saying. These nonverbal elements play a crucial role in conveying sincerity, respect, and understanding. The language we use in relationships can also shape the way we handle conflict. Every relationship encounters challenges, but the words we choose in those moments can either escalate the situation or help resolve it. Instead of resorting to blame or anger, we can use language that focuses on the issue, not the person. Statements like, "I feel frustrated when this happens," are far more effective than "you always do this." This shift in language fosters a sense of collaboration and problem solving rather than defensiveness or hostility. By using language that seeks to understand, empathize, and find solutions, we strengthen the foundation of the relationship and build resilience to weather future challenges. Ultimately, language is the thread that ties relationships together, for better or for worse. The way we use words impacts how we build trust, how we express our love and appreciation, and how we navigate the complexities of human connection. When we choose our language carefully, speaking with kindness, empathy, and respect, we foster relationships that are rich, fulfilling, and enduring. And when we become aware of the power our words hold, we can use language not only to strengthen our own connections, but also to elevate the lives of those around us. Rewriting your story is one of the most empowering actions you can take in your life. Every single one of us carries a narrative, a collection of beliefs and experiences that shapes the way we view ourselves in the world. These stories, whether conscious or unconscious, determine how we respond to challenges, how we perceive opportunities, and ultimately how we receive opportunities, and ultimately how we live our lives. But here's the truth: just because you've lived a certain way up until now doesn't mean that story is fixed. You have the power to rewrite it, to shift the narrative, and to create a new chapter at any point. The stories we tell ourselves often begin in childhood and are shaped by the messages we receive from family, society, and our experiences. Many of these early stories are based on assumptions, fears, or misunderstandings that we may not even question. For example, if you were told repeatedly that you weren't good enough or that you had to work extra hard to earn love or approval, you might internalize those beliefs and carry them with you throughout your life. These beliefs then become the lens through which you view yourself and the choices you make. They can limit your actions, making you feel like you're not worthy of success, love, or happiness. But the beauty of rewriting your story is that you don't have to be a prisoner to those past beliefs. You have the ability to look at your life from a different perspective and redefine who you are, what you're capable of, and where you're headed. The first step in rewriting your story is becoming aware of the narrative you've been telling yourself. What beliefs or patterns have you been following that no longer serve you? What parts of your past are you holding on to that are keeping you stuck? Once you can identify the old story, you can begin to challenge it. Rewriting your story involves consciously choosing a new language that empowers you, encourages you, and affirms your worth. If your story has been one of struggle and limitation, you can change it to one of strength, resilience, and growth. Instead of saying, "I'm always going to be stuck in this situation," you can start saying, "I am learning and evolving every day." By replacing disempowering thoughts with empowering ones, you begin to change the internal narrative that drives your actions. The more you speak this new story into existence, the more your reality will begin to reflect it. The key to rewriting your story is not just in changing your language, but in taking action that aligns with this new story. It's easy to get caught in the idea of one day or when things are better, but the truth is the new story starts with the choices you make in the present. Every decision, no matter how small, can reinforce the narrative you want to live out. If you've always believed that success is out of reach, taking one small step toward a goal will send a powerful message to your subconscious: "I can do this." It's through these small actions, repeated over time, that the new story begins to take shape and gain momentum. Rewriting your story also involves embracing the setbacks, challenges, and failures that are a natural part of life. In the old story, failure might have been seen as proof of your inadequacy, a confirmation of your limitations. But in the new story, failure becomes part of the journey, an opportunity to learn, grow, and become better. Instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, you start to view them as stepping stones on your path to success. This shift in perspective allows you to face life's challenges with a sense of empowerment, knowing that each setback is an opportunity to rewrite the narrative and get closer to the person you want to become. Another essential aspect of rewriting your story is embracing forgiveness, both for yourself and others. Many of the stories we carry are built on past hurts, regrets, or mistakes. These moments, while painful, do not define us unless we allow them to. To move forward, you must release the hold that past events have on your narrative. This might mean forgiving yourself for past choices or letting go of resentment toward others. By releasing this emotional baggage, you free yourself to create a new story, one that is not weighed down by old wounds. Rewriting your story is not about pretending the past didn't happen or ignoring the struggles you faced. It's about choosing to define yourself by your potential, not your past. It's about creating a future that aligns with who you are becoming, not who you were. As you begin to shift your language, your beliefs, and your actions, you will find that the world around you begins to reflect your new story. Relationships improve, opportunities emerge, and you step into a version of yourself that you never thought possible. The most incredible thing about rewriting your story is that it's never too late to start. No matter how old you are, how long you've been living the old narrative, or how stuck you may feel, you always have the power to change your story. Your past doesn't have to dictate your future. The pen is in your hands, and you are the author of your own life. Each day is an opportunity to turn the page, write a new chapter, and create a future that is in alignment with the greatness that lies within you. The language we use has a profound impact on our emotions, influencing how we feel, how we react, and how we experience the world around us. Emotions are not just spontaneous reactions to events, they are also shaped and reinforced by the words we use to describe those events. Our internal dialogue, the stories we tell ourselves, and the way we express ourselves to others all play a critical role in determining our emotional state. By changing the language we use, we can change the way we feel, transforming negative emotions into positive ones and shifting our entire emotional experience. When we describe something as a problem, it immediately creates a sense of difficulty, frustration, or resistance. The word itself implies something to be solved, something that requires energy to overcome. However, when we choose to describe the same situation as an opportunity or a challenge, it evokes a completely different emotional response. We feel more empowered, more motivated, and more willing to take action. The words we use shape how we interpret our circumstances and, in turn, how we emotionally respond to them. A shift in language from seeing obstacles to seeing opportunities can transform stress into excitement, fear into courage, and doubt into determination. The impact of language on emotions is especially evident in the way we speak to ourselves. Our internal self-talk is one of the most significant contributors to our emotional state. If we constantly tell ourselves that we are not good enough or that we will fail, we begin to feel defeated, anxious, and unworthy. These negative beliefs become self-fulfilling prophecies, creating emotional barriers that prevent us from achieving our goals. However, when we choose to speak to ourselves with words of encouragement, self-compassion, and positivity, we can lift ourselves out of those negative emotional states. By saying, "I am capable, I have the power to change, or I will learn from this," we shift our emotional energy from despair to hope, from frustration to determination. Furthermore, the language we use to describe our emotions plays a key role in how we experience them. For example, if we label a feeling of anxiety as overwhelming or terrifying, it amplifies the intensity of the emotion, making it harder to manage. But if we reframe it as uncomfortable or temporary, it reduces its power over us. By changing the language we use to label our emotions, we can decrease their hold on us. Instead of saying, "I am anxious," we can say, "I am experiencing anxiety right now," which creates a sense of separation from the emotion. This small shift in language helps us realize that emotions are temporary experiences, not permanent states of being. It allows us to acknowledge our emotions without being consumed by them. In relationships, the language we use has a direct impact on the emotions we evoke in others. When we speak with empathy, compassion, and understanding, we create an emotional environment that fosters connection, trust, and mutual respect. On the other hand, harsh or dismissive language can create feelings of rejection, hurt, and resentment. The words we choose have the power to either uplift and support those around us or cause emotional harm. When we listen actively and respond with thoughtful language, we validate the other person's emotions, which in turn deepens the emotional bond between us. Our language also influences the emotions we experience in response to external events. The same situation can be interpreted in a variety of ways depending on the words we choose. For example, if we lose a job, we can describe it as a devastating setback, which would likely bring up feelings of fear, insecurity, and sadness. Alternatively, we could frame it as an opportunity for reinvention, which would create feelings of hope, possibility, and determination. The words we use to interpret events directly impact the emotional meaning we assign to them. By choosing language that empowers us, that emphasizes growth and opportunity, we can shift our emotional responses and transform difficult situations into sources of strength. Ultimately, the language we use acts as both a mirror and a creator of our emotional world. The words we speak reflect our internal state, but they also have the power to shape and change that state. When we change the language we use, whether in our self-talk, how we describe our experiences, or how we communicate with others, we can change the way we feel. Our emotions, far from being fixed reactions to the world around us, are deeply influenced by the words we choose. And by consciously shifting our language, we can create an emotional landscape that supports our well-being, resilience, and growth. Words are not just simple tools for communication, they carry energy and invisible force that can influence and shape our thoughts, actions, and interactions. Every word we speak or think has a vibration. a frequency that impacts us on a deep emotional, mental, and even physical level. This energy can either uplift or diminish, heal or harm, depending on how it's used. When we choose our words, we are choosing the energy we wish to bring into our lives and into the world around us. The energy of words begins with our inner dialogue. How we speak to ourselves has a profound effect on our emotional state, confidence, and overall mindset. If our internal language is filled with negativity, self-doubt, or criticism, we begin to feel the weight of those words. They become like chains, limiting our potential and creating an emotional environment of fear, stress, and anxiety. However, when we speak to ourselves with words of encouragement, self-compassion, and empowerment, we create a positive, uplifting energy that fosters strength, resilience, and growth. The energy of our words can either build us up or break us down, and the more we choose positive, affirming language, the more we cultivate an empowering inner world. On the other hand, when we choose language that reflects empowerment and possibility, we reframe our beliefs about what we are capable of achieving. Statements like, I am capable of learning this, I am getting better every day, or I have the power to change help rewire our brain for growth and resilience. Our beliefs are deeply tied to the language we use. And by choosing words that affirm our potential, we open the door to greater opportunities for progress. Language also plays a vital role in how we handle setbacks and obstacles, which are an inevitable part of any growth journey. How we speak about failures and challenges directly affects our ability to overcome them. If we label a setback as a disaster or proof that we're not good enough, we reinforce feelings of defeat and frustration. However, when we reframe setbacks as learning experiences, opportunities to grow, or temporary obstacles, we begin to see them as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. This shift in language helps us maintain a positive attitude in the face of adversity, enabling us to approach challenges with perseverance, creativity, and a willingness to find solutions. In addition to individual growth, language also influences our relationships, which are a critical part of our overall development. The way we communicate with others can either foster growth or create barriers. When we speak with empathy, respect, and encouragement, we help nurture the growth of those around us. We provide support, guidance, and motivation, helping others believe in their own potential and empowering them to reach new heights. Language that is positive and supportive has the power to strengthen connections, build trust, and inspire collaborative growth. By choosing words that uplift, we contribute to our own growth, but to the growing tribute. Language is also essential in shaping our self-awareness. The words we use to reflect on our own behavior, thoughts, and feelings help us gain a deeper understanding of ourselves. When we speak openly and honestly about our challenges and areas of improvement, we create space for self-reflection and growth. Instead of avoiding difficult conversations with ourselves or others, we use language that invites openness and self-compassion. Instead of avoiding difficult conversations with ourselves or others, we use language that invites openness and self-compassion. Phrases like, I'm not perfect, but I'm improving, or I'm learning to be more patient with myself, encourage a mindset of self-acceptance while also pushing us to be better. Additionally, language allows us to set goals, create intentions, and take action. The words we use when we talk about our dreams, aspirations, and commitments are powerful because they clarify our desires and align our energy with our objectives. When we declare our goals with clear, positive language such as, I am committed to achieving this, I will take the necessary steps, or this is my vision and I'm making it a reality, we signal to ourselves and to the world that we are serious about our growth. These statements are not just words, they are declarations of our intention, fueling our motivation and guiding our actions. Language acts as a blueprint for our future, setting the direction for the steps we take each day toward our personal development. In essence, language is not just a tool for communication, it is a tool for growth. The words we use shape our mindset, influence our emotions, and determine our actions. By consciously choosing language that reflects possibility, empowerment, and progress, we create an environment that supports our development and helps us overcome the challenges that come our way. Language becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, guiding us toward the person we are meant to become. Whether we are learning new skills, navigating challenges, or building relationships, the language we use is a reflection of the growth we wish to experience. With the right language, we have the power to transform our lives and create the future we desire. The power of language is so profound that it can even change the way we feel. Have you ever noticed how your body reacts when you say something powerful? When you say, I am strong, your body feels different. Your posture changes, your energy rises. Now compare that to when you say, I don't know if I can, and feel the weight of those words settle in your chest. It's not just your mind, it's your body responding to the energy of the words you speak. Now compare that to when you say, I don't know if I can, and feel the weight of those words settle in your chest. It's not just your mind, it's your body responding to the energy of the words you speak. But here's the real magic. You can rewrite your story. You don't have to stay stuck in the narrative that life has handed you. You can choose to speak a new reality into existence. When you change the language you use, you change the trajectory of your life. It's that simple. You've heard it said that words are power. But let me take it further, words are energy. They carry a vibration that resonates, not just within you, but with everyone around you. What energy are you sending out into the world? Is it a positive, uplifting energy that draws people toward you? Or is it a negative, draining energy that pushes people away? Your words have the power to transform your emotions. If you say, I'm frustrated, you'll feel frustrated. If you say, I'm finding new solutions, your emotions shift toward resourcefulness. It's a simple switch, but it's one of the most powerful tools you have. And here's the most incredible part. The language you choose is not just about words. It's about the feelings those words create. Language becomes the foundation of how you approach life's challenges, how you see opportunities, and how you respond to the struggles you face. When you change your language, you change your energy. And when you change your energy, you begin to shape the world around you. So what language are you speaking today? What story you're telling yourself? Are you ready to rewrite it, to start speaking a new reality into existence? Because when you change your language, you change everything. And everything, my friends, starts with the words you choose. Let's choose to make them powerful. Let's choose to make them limitless. Let's choose to create a world of possibility, one word at a time.